Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Here is Karina in another video for this kind of channel, and today I'm going to be talking about why God cares about our sexuality. And the reason I'm going to be talking about this is because a lot of people, they think that they can do whatever they want with their sexuality, and sexuality is kind of like another physical need that we have, that we just want to fulfill that need, right? And no matter how that means. So if that means like masturbating, watching porn, or fantasizing, either connecting sexually with other people, consuming spicy content, no matter what, as long as you fulfill that need, that's okay. Which is understandable why we think that way, because if the same way when you're hungry you eat, then when you feel sexually you just act on, right? And actually, if we think about it, if we compare both of them as food, like hungry, like for the need for nutrients, and we just eat food, and being sexually aroused just to act out or feel that need, whatever that means for us, then it should be that any kind of food or anything that we put to our body will just fill our need. But that's not the way it actually happens, because we have a need for nutrients, right? And that's why our body feels hungry and give us signs that we have a need, that it needs to be filled. But if we try to fill that need with substances, drug or alcohol, either junk food for a long period of time, then that is going to make us more harm than good, and actually it's not going to fulfill that need, right? So the same way, sexuality, even if we think about it only as a physical need, then there is a way to fill that need in a healthy and in an unhealthy way. And as we have talked about in the other videos, our need for sexuality is our need for deepest connection and love. So not only eating, not because you're putting something in your body means that you're feeling that need. And it's the same way, not because you are actually doing something with your sexual organs and giving you pleasure, that means that you're feeling the deepest need that is behind your sexuality. And here is another point, very interesting. Like, well, if there are unhealthy and healthy foods, then does God care about what we eat? Yes, God cares what we eat as well. Why? Because God cares about you. God cares about us. God cares about our whole person. He wants us to be healthy and happy. Therefore, He will have certain guidance on how to become that person and how to be healthy and happy. So it's not that God wants to punish us and control and you have to do this and this and that, but actually God cares about us, and He has certain guidance that He offered to us to live a fulfilling, healthy life. That's it. And this is another reason why God cares about our sexuality, because He cares about us as a whole person. He cares about all the aspects of our life. He cares about our health. He cares about our career. He cares about our enjoyment. He cares about our sexuality. He cares about all the aspects of our life, all our roles that we're feeling in our life as well. And why He cares about all these aspects? Because He wants to be connected with us in all of our aspects. He wants to live in this world through us. He wants us to be one with Him. Imagine if you have a really big desire to connect with someone. Can be a friend, can be a spouse, can be our children. And you want to connect with that person very deep. But that person tells you, hey man, is everything all good, but I don't want you to be involved in my private life. So I'm good to talk about politics or fashion, but I don't want you to be involved in my life. That's okay? Is that okay? And of course, you can have a relationship with that person to a certain level, but it's not going to be a deep, intimate relationship, right? A spouse, I don't think even a marriage relationship can be created with that kind of level of relationship, right? You need intimacy, and for intimacy, each other needs to be involved in different aspects of their lives. And at the same time, if we want to involve God in our life, we cannot choose which kind of aspect He can be involved or not. Like, oh yeah, you can be involved in this. I love my faith or my faith community, so we can chat on Sundays. But the other times, it's not your problem, it's not your business. And then, of course, like that deep relationship will not be able to create if we just take God out of certain aspects of our life, especially when we talk about intimacy and sexuality. And here is my last point of why God cares about sexuality. And it's in the Johnson Yu Book 1, Chapter 1, number 21, where it says, "Where would God's dwell place be? God will nest in the most precious place of all, love." Speaking of men and women, where would God be? He will be at the point that stands perpendicular to their deepest love, based on their complete and unchanging unity. Where men and women come into oneness, that place becomes the central point. So, what do you think will be the central point where men and women become one? Through sex. So that's where the deepest dwelling place where God can be is when men and women becomes one through sex. So of course God wants to be and experience sexuality through you, dwell in that love that is created between men and women, dwell in the love that is expressed in our sexuality. And for that, we need to invite God to our life in all the aspects. And coming back to the point that there are healthy and unhealthy ways to fulfill our need for sexuality, 1 Corinthians 6:18 says, "Flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a person commits are outside the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body." So, of course, as this versicle says, when we sin sexually, we are doing harm to our own body. The other sins are external, and you can thinking about what that means and reflect on the comments below. But the point here is that the sexual sins, they are harm to our own body. So even if we think about sexuality as a physical need, when you fulfill that need in an unhealthy way through sexual immorality, then you are harming your own body. So I hope with this video make you reflect about the role of sexuality and God in your life, and how you can involve God in your sexuality at the same time. I want to invite you as well to join a High Noon group, because that is a place where you can create connection and you can reflect about all these different points connected to sexuality and our relationship with God in a weekly basis, with discussion with other people. And it's such a safe place to connect with others. So please join a High Noon group. Please be involved in all other contents and watch other contents that we have. And I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.